Alrighty, well, get ready to embark on an exciting journey as we discuss moving beyond crypto, how blockchain can transform businesses in our next fireside chat. This will be a dynamic conversation that reveals its incredible potential to revolutionize the business world. So please put your hands together for our speakers, Osama Sabeth, President and founder of Bedrock, and Rodney Wild, President and CEO of A through Z Computer Solutions.
Thanks, everyone. Nope. Rodney, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Great, great. Well, thanks everybody for coming to this session. We'll make sure to keep it exciting and take as many questions as we can. My name is Osama Saba. I am the president and founder of Bedrock Technology, a supplier enablement solution that simplifies the supplier journey. With me, I have Rodney Wild. Rodney?
Hi.
Want to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
You sure? My company, A to Z Computer Solutions, we're mainly a support company as well as software development. We're actually doing some stuff that is cohesive with the topic of conversation today.
Awesome, thank you. So what we're going to talk about today is how blockchain can transform businesses. And what I'd like to start it with is talking a little bit about, the history of crypto, the history of blockchain, and how it came all together. And so to start with, blockchain technology and cryptocurrency have undergone a remarkable evolution since its inception in 2009 as Bitcoin. Initially, it was deployed as the underlying technology for Bitcoin. Blockchain served as the public ledger for all transactions on the network, ensuring that there is a transparency and security without the need for a central authority. That by itself was a revolution, call it. In a way or another, there's no need for a bank, and now I can actually do a transaction without having to call my bank or go through the actual banking. And then over the year, the potential of blockchain technology has expanded far beyond just supporting cryptocurrency. It has sparked a lot of interest in virtuous sectors because of its ability to provide a decentralized, transparent, and secure system for many applications. And it goes from finance to supply chain to healthcare to digital identification and verification. With that said, Rodney, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you guys are utilizing it today in your business?
We're collaborating with the Psi Foundation. They're a cryptocurrency-based blockchain that supports distributed storage. For the most part here, this allows there's two people that are part of that group. The first is the renter here that rents storage, and the second group is hosts that host storage. Essentially, that allows a renter that has Psi, and that's spelled SAI, crypto coin, to rent storage from a host machine that could be anywhere out on the internet. It's encrypted, has a lot of redundancy in it. For the most part here, if you're storing data on the network, that data gets broken up into blocks. Those blocks have redundancy built in so that a number of hosts can go down that stores your data without you actually losing it. The application that we're developing with regards to this, cooperating with the Psi Foundation, they're supporting the project, allows us to back up servers out on the Psi network with PsiCoin. The module that we're actually kind of building two modules. The modules that we're building here are for Proxmox, which is a hosting platform, very similar to VMware or the cloud, if you're using AWS. That essentially allows Proxmox backup Proxmox servers to back up their data into the Psi network, or any other S3 network that's compatible. That includes Amazon. So that's what we're doing here, and hopefully that allows people to back up large amounts of data for a very small amount of money. It's actually significantly less expensive than Amazon. I'll take it back to you because I know you have a great task as well.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. It makes a lot of sense because again, AWS costs a lot of money, and if we can scale it in a better place and be able to store that data, it's a no-brainer, right? And it's going to be a lot more secure, in my opinion.
Well, and it's distributed. One of the things that we currently see with all of the things that are happening in the environment right now here, flooding is a big problem. If you have all your data in one place and it floods out, at that point you lose your data. So to have your data spread around the world, if you have storms in one place, that might take out one or two hosts, but it doesn't take out your data. We're big proponents of making sure that everybody has their data backed up. As an IT person, the last thing I want to tell a customer is that they lost their data, even if it's not my fault. We want to make sure that that we never have to tell people that. We keep telling people, back up your data, back up your data, back up your data. Very, very important.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. From there, I'll share some of the things, I guess, that happened that I see in supply chain. Let's talk about specifically the impact of blockchain technology on global supply chains, how it's offering transparency, accuracy, and security. I don't know if some of you remember, in 2015, there was an E. coli breakout, and that was at Chipotle. During that time, if you guys remember, there was a drop in the stock of 46%. Obviously, if we would have bought it, we would have made a lot of money today. But at that time, that outbreak was obviously a disaster for the company. The issue here was that they were unable to identify where did it exactly happen and how to actually stop it. And the reason is there is actually no ledger out there that was going to tell us where did it happen, how to stop it, and how to fix it from that perspective. And so since then, there's been a lot of companies that have been trying to tackle that specifically through the blockchain technology and be able to create a decentralized ledger that records every transaction of movement of goods in the supply chain. And so now you can actually go back and you can see it. But what's even more important than that is that nobody can alter it. So if there is an outbreak, if there is an issue, somebody can actually go in there and change it, and now you lost the actual authenticity of the old data. Now with the blockchain technology, it is capturing everything in real time, telling you exactly where the goods went, when did it actually get stopped, and nobody can change it. And that by itself can help, obviously, if in case there's any kind of health concerns that may come in the future. Another company that I can think about is Budweiser. Budweiser, for the longest time, they've had a massive problem with the leakage because they constantly lost kegs, right? On their inventory, every single time they do an actual count, they're losing it. And so what they're implementing today is a blockchain technology that will actually capture every part of the actual transaction and every single place that it actually moves to, and be able to capture where the inventory is moving to make sure that that leakage doesn't obviously happen. And then last but not least, we see a lot of food to table or farm to table, right? The concept is obviously huge. Everybody enjoys it. But do we know exactly where did it come from? Do we understand who are the suppliers? Did we verify those suppliers? And can we even go beyond that and verify the supplier of the supplier and make sure that everything is compliant, that we're getting the right inventory that we actually requested, and make sure that we can also trace it back? So these are some of the examples that I think about when I think about supply chain, which is exciting to me, obviously, because that's where I live generally. From here, there is something actually that I would like to ask start with you, Rodney, and then maybe everybody that's over here. One of the questions that I can never answer, I can answer partially, but I can't answer it completely, is blockchain by itself in crypto, it utilizes a lot of energy, right? There's a lot of footprint for the environment and sustainability. So the question is as this continues to grow, as we continue to discover how far it can go, how can we make sure that it will be sustainable, that it's not going to affect the environment, and it's going to sustain. And one of the examples that I know about, which is only one actually, and hopefully you guys can enlighten us more, and you, Rodney, is the change from proof of stack to proof of work. That's what the Ethereum network started on. And now we're going to obviously Ethereum 2.0, and that by itself is going to decrease that carbon footprint a ton. Another general example that I don't know a lot, but it makes sense, is as all of these companies are producing all of that carbon, how can we create incentives to make it carbon offsetting? So how can we start actually investing at the same time in renewable energy that can actually save? And so from here, I guess I'll ask you, Rodney, if you have any thoughts on that, and if anybody in the audience might have an answer for that.
That's a fairly tough question, and you're putting me on the spot.
No, don't worry about it.
I think proof of work versus proof of stake, allows for less complicated algorithms, and so that's obviously they're able to come to a consensus much quicker, which allows for less energy. I think inherently you're going to, there has to be some sort of computational aspect of that in order to make sure that transactions are unique and provable and get them on chain. Am I the guy to tell you what the next the next evolution of blockchain? I am definitely not that guy. But at the end of the day here, I'm sure there are smarter people thinking on that. I think using renewables is a very important part of that aspect. I don't think we can move fast enough in that direction, but if you take a look at the amount of energy that's required, it's pretty significant. I think we certainly need to be, and it's obvious, by virtue of the fact that we've moved from proof of work to proof of stake, that we are thinking in that direction. And there are people that are, again, much smarter than me, that are thinking of the next evolution of blockchain. I think that's going to come from Bitcoin or Ethereum. Those are the two biggest blocks out there. But I think there's lots of other people doing equally amazing research into blockchain.
That makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I'm a 100% believer in exactly what you said. Through collaboration is the only way that we're going to find answers to these tough questions. But one of the things that also sparks in my head is, as we continue to configure what that tech stack looks like, I think there should be, and as crypto continues to grow, and obviously we've seen how much it has gone up in the past couple of weeks, exactly, there should be a certain crypto, call it, currency that incentivizes that. And if you actually build your environment or build your utility on specifically renewable energy, offsetting the carbon footprint, then you're going to be incentivized by getting that type of, call it, income or dollar value, or sorry, crypto value back to your company. Does anybody else have any ideas? Paul?
Making sure that also, like, I love what you said about understanding the history of the supply chain. Like, where are these things being sourced from? Where is it coming from? That information itself can be really powerful, being able to determine, right, am I getting these, goods, for example, from maybe someone who's a little bit more local, or it's not taking as long of a transportation route across the world. And I think that, combining that with incentives also, because we've got incentives of Israel plus behavior is what's going to help offset that, and maybe even
No, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Go ahead. No, no, I love that answer because when we think people in the community, in the crypto community or in the blockchain community, anytime you say a regulation, everybody freaks out. But that's a perfect example where regulation actually fits for the better of the actual technology and then the people and the environment. Thank you.
I think the one thing that we need to keep in mind from a company perspective, companies are in business to make a profit. They're not going to do something unless there's a good reason for them to do that from a profit perspective. Um, I think newer generations of people that come behind me have higher expectations than I have. And they are now expecting, companies to be more efficient, to be able to, put less carbon into the atmosphere.
No, that makes a lot of sense. One of the things that I also think about is that everybody, separate from the crypto world and the blockchain world, everybody talks about ESG, right? But we always talk about the environment. But not enough people are talking about the social aspect of things. What I would love to see is as we develop those applications, as we develop those companies, now we start actually including the social aspect of it. What does that mean? That if I have an actual application and you are a user, whether you're a consumer or a provider, if you utilize actually my application, then I'm going to actually give you shares in the company. I'm going to actually issue for you the currency or the crypto that I actually have. And now it makes you feel like an actual owner when you're utilizing that technology or when you're using it. And with that, you always want it to be having the highest reviews, the highest remarks. And I think if we start also pushing on the social aspect of things, all of us together will take that technology to the next level. Anybody else? Okay, that's everything that I had. Rodney?
I think I'm done too. I don't really have too much more to say about it.
Go ahead, gentleman in the back. No, 100%. You're absolutely correct. With that, thanks everybody. I hope this was informative, exciting for all of you. Thank you so much.